Hello comic fans, or rather comic book fans, because this time it's really about comic books. Here's Earl Grey, and this is my monthly haul of comics. I know for many of you this would be rather a good weekly haul of comics, but for me it's a huge or even too huge. So I have to put something on the chopping block. Maybe I'll start with these 2000 AD magazines, always a month worth of comics in one bag, but too expensive because of the pound-euro exchange rate, I guess, for the most part. And I want to talk about these two books here and more in depth later, and go through the rest of the stack as quick as I can. Master Text 5, drawn by Chris Schweitzer, written by Carl Starks, concluded the series here in a not too surprising manner, but I really enjoyed the whole run, and especially these one-page panels in the beginning here were great. So this was overall good fun, and continuing to be strong, in my opinion at least, are the Sandman Universe books. Books of Magic, The Dreaming, House of Whispers, and maybe my favorite book of them all, Lucifer, number 5. Murder Falcon, what can I say? Beautiful, whacked out, weird book. Only 2 books more so far, unfortunately, but I think on the downside of silly premise is that you can't drag this on forever. So yeah, silly in the best sense. Wonderful book and pretty emotional, surprisingly, in parts as well. Yeah, I couldn't pass on that one. You have to get a bit cheesecake in your life. Red Sonja, written by what's his name, Mark Russell. I enjoyed really the first page. The first issue, the first page, I enjoyed as well. But I really enjoyed the first issue, and even though the art here is not as good as the cover, of course. So, yeah, I rationalized this a bit because I wanted to compare this with a European character called Red Hair from Don Lawrence's sci-fi saga Storm, which who has her own series right now. So I figured I have to compare this with Red Sonja one time or later. So I jumped on that train and read this miniseries, and so far it's good fun. Especially Green Lantern is fantastic fun so far. 1 to 4, the issues, the first 4 issues were great. And I read here the first pages yesterday and figured, I have to read at least the last issue again to get more a grip on what's happening here again. But Grant Morrison is really understandable, comprehensible here. It's just very, very dense in the best sense of the word. And this is reflected by the very highly detailed art of Mr. Liam Sharp. So, and this series was around, or has been around for a while now, and Dick Tracy 1 to 4 was drawn by Rich Tomaso, who I like a lot. Some of the comic fans I've heard and read said that they wished for Michael Allred to do the interiors as well. Yeah, but I can't complain because I really like Rich Tomaso. My only complaints towards Tomaso usually is his writing when he writes his own stories, that he can't come to a good conclusion. But this time it's Allred's story, so I hope this is good. And really okay-ish is hardcore an action series with a bit clunky or serviceable art, let's put it this way, by one Alessandro Vitti. The premise is really interesting. A secret government organization hijacking bodies through a neurological device, and they spinning a good, James Bondish, sci-fi-ish yarn out of that premise. And so far, I enjoyed it. But if the art is not for you, I wouldn't recommend it. These two books here are highly recommended, and starting with Astro Hustle, the color scheme on the cover here alone did it for me so much that I can't tell you. Along with this lettering here, and they really try to recreate some 80s, maybe 90s atmosphere with this comic book. The first pages here trying maybe a bit too hip at once in your face on different levels, but this continues throughout the book, and I enjoyed it. Really, I enjoyed the heck out of it. Colorful, fun art that doesn't take itself too seriously, obviously, and we have a weird prison in the future and pirates, and just look at this panel and you get a feeling for the direction which this book takes here, and obviously all direction at the same time. And I'm really on board with this book here. Very promised to be lots of fun. So, can I have a moment of silence, please? Because really, this book here, Little Bird, written by one Darcy van Polgeest, I always read Poltergeist for whatever reason, and drawn by Ian Bertram, and colors by Matt Hollingsworth, and all three of them do an amazing job with this book here. This will be a 5-issue miniseries, and this is an oversized issue, so you can get 36 pages full of story, just starting the numbers with this page here. 36 pages for $3.99, so I think this is really a fair price. Fantastic book. Just this first double page, I was just these 2 pages in, and I thought, hey, I have to stop and do a video about it, because this pulls so many strings here within my soul, I can't tell you. Just when a book starts with, this doesn't end here. I mean, it's not the first time someone did something like this. By the way, here, Astro Hustle started as well, very good, with a Möbius homage in the very first word, Giraud Observatory. That's the name of this thing here. I love this when they really start, in the right alley, in my alley. So this is about some freedom fighters fighting some religious motivated hypocrites from the US, and they are Canadian, and just look at this loose hatchings that are so reminiscent of maybe Möbius or Farrell Dalrymple came to my mind, or even if you're familiar with Lionel Feininger, an American-German painter who did the Katzenjammer Kids, this old newspaper comic strip back very back in the day. So this is totally Feininger to me. These caricaturized proportions of these figures here, even though the color scheme is not Feininger. But maybe look up Feininger and you Google his name and you will see what I mean. So I love this 2 pages and thought, hey, can't improve anymore, but it gets better and better all the time. I mean, my my little review here is maybe not necessary, because many of others did raving reviews about this book. The Frog Queen in particular did a very good and in-depth review of this here, so you have to check her out. But I think I can't skip on the hype and have to add a bit about it. The Frog Queen said that this comic here reminds her in many ways of Jodorowsky's Metabaron series. And even if with the art, when you look at this here, I can see that. And for the and most and foremost because of the story, there's making fun of religion, and this can't be. You can't make enough fun of religion, in my opinion. And so it's totally up my alley. And what can I tell you? Then you have these candy colors. The color scheme changes completely. We have some panels of ridiculously absurd over-violence. So this is really not for your kids, I think. This is not even the most violent panel, and I don't want to show you this. But the last thing I wanted to mention is that they claim that they won't do a trade paperback of this stuff here. So when you want to read this, you have to go for these comic books. But I don't think that there's no way, or I think there's no way around that they will put out. They have to put out an oversized hardcover of this stuff here, because the art really would deserve an oversized treatment to really shine. But yeah, I don't say that this art here doesn't shine in this format as well. I really will stick with this format here and see how it develops. It just can't be nothing less than fantastic. That's really what I believe right now. Thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye.